Hello everyone, this is the fifth video of Hack with Python series. In this video, we'll be talking about a script that we can brute force a web form like this. In here, I have a web app running on my localhost. Uh, its name is webapp3, and here you have to enter the username and then the password and to login. Here the status will be displayed. In here, actually, I have made this to see whether if the login is success or fail. For example, let's keep this as empty and press login. It says login failed because it does not find any queries in the database with empty username and an empty password. Now let's try real information. I used here the username as black and the password as 12341234. If we type this login button, it says login successful. I'll just demonstrate what we are going to do today. So we'll be making a Python script like this. What does this do is, this will brute force attack that web form and find the password when we know the username. In this case, we assume that we know the username and we are trying to find the password. Here I'll open a command prompt and type py, then the Python script, and press enter. Now it's checking for the passwords. As this is a brute force attack, it takes time. In this case, I know where the password is actually located in the word list. The word list that I'm using is the famous rockuru.txt. There are around I can't actually remember the amount of the passwords it has, but the password I used is located around at 1090 or something. Let's see. Yes, it found the password is around 1190 or something, and the password is 12341234, as I told you earlier. Now let's see how can we make this script from the scratch. I'll delete this. I'll keep this word list so I don't have to download it again. You can search for this rockuru.txt and you can download it. I will create a new Python file here and name it form user.py, and then I'll open it with my IDE, Visual Studio Code. And here we will need some library files. First I'll import a request library, import request as rq, and then we gonna need time library, import time, and for the colors we gonna need colorma library and term color library. I'll import colorma, and then from colorma I'll import init. From colorma import init, and then I'll import term color, not actually full term color library. From term color import cprint. That's all the libraries we need. And then to initialize these colors, because some of the terminals actually in Windows it is command prompt does not support these colors, so we have to initialize this term color library first. No, actually the colorma first in our terminal what we are going to use for this script. So we have to first type this init, and it will initialize this colorma library inside our terminal, and then I will define the colors. So I don't have to type the color codes again and again. First, for the red, I will use color dot red, and I don't actually need the green. Here instead green I'll use blue. No, let's keep green, because if you notice in our terminal the blue color was not that visible, so let's use green. And then I'm going to use yellow, color dot yellow, and then we are using pink color here. Pink is actually a custom color here, so I'll use the color code for that. This is /033 square bracket, only open this square bracket, and then 95 that's the color code for pink color. Those are the colors we are going to use here. I'll save it, and as I told you earlier, we assume that we know the username here, so I'll take username. It is here black, and the URL for the actually this is not we have to enter the URL here, not for this web application itself, but for the PHP or the backend data query script this web app uses. How to find that? Let's see. When you are in this web page, if you are using Chrome or Edge, you can type F12. I think all other browsers also have the same key to open the developer tools, and then go to network here and refresh the page, and it will show you these resources which this web page is using. If we try to open this main.css in another tab, I'll choose this open in new tab option. You can see its URL. This is located in localhost web app 3 styles main.css. This is where this style sheet is located on that website. So how can we find the script that is running when we enter data here? First I'll type something like this and password 111, and I type this login button. You can see a new query was opened here, and its response is login failed. If you go to the headers, these are the request headers that has been made, and the payload, you can see there are two datas. First one is username and the password. What happened when we click this login button? I'll go to this source code of this HTML and describe you what is happening. These are the two input boxes that are used to get our inputs. These two. Here its ID is username. This is the username text box, and next one is password. This is the password text box. And if you see below here, there is a script. These are usually JavaScripts. In here also it's JavaScript. I made this so I know what script that is. Here what happened? We have I have added an event listener here. For the event click on that button, this button. When I click that button, this function runs. Inside that function we have a constant name uname, which is equal to username.value. Username means this one. This one gets the value from that username box, and same for the password. And here I have opened a new web form here. This is a web form object, and I have append these post data into that web form. First one is username, then the second one is password. These are the variables, and the values are these values, uname and p word, which are taken from that text boxes. Then it will fetch this PHP file here. In the website, there is a PHP actions folder, and inside that action folder there is a PHP script called login action, and it has been called with this post data. First post data is username and second one is password. If we try to open this in browser, it usually gives an error. Let's try to open it. Yes, it is giving us an error. Username is required, password is required. This happens because it says undefined variable username, and all this stuff happened because we haven't set any post data in our request. We just opened the page and it is trying to query that post request, but there are no any post data. That's why these errors are happening. And now what we are going to do, in here we need to send post data into this URL using Python. So I'll take this URL as this is our URL. I'll take a count because we are going to print out the count of the password that we tried. Count equals 0 here, and then we have to open our password list, this file. We are opening that file and going passwords one by one. I'll show you that file. Don't open this with Notepad, it will take a long time to open. If you have Notepad++, it will open instantly. And there are passwords in each line by line. There are passwords, and we have to go one by one of them and check if the query success. Oh, I forgot to say something here. In here, if we enter wrong information and try to log in this PHP action, what happened was username was sent, password was sent, and the response was login failed. And if you send something correct, for example black and 1234 1234, these are correct information. This is the second request and it says login successful. So this is the message we want to see when there is a correct login. But in the most cases we don't know this successful message. What is this successful message is? So in this script we are going to use the failure message until it's been changed to something else. It could be another failure message actually in the real life case, but in here there are only two messages, login failed or login successful. And when it is not login successful, we assume that the password is correct, and we are continuing this script. First I'll open the password list with open. I have this password list on the same directory here, so I'll just use this name procure.txt, and I have to open it in the read mode, so I'll type R as F, and while it open we have to iterate through its passwords one by one. For password in F, the password is what? The password dot strip. Why do we need this strip function here? This is because sometimes the passwords could have spaces from the beginning and the end, and also there could be this /r/n letters. These are happens when we enter something in a notepad, and when we press enter, this /r will be there when we read this password, and this /n happens when we break lines. If you know programming for some amount, you know these things. And now I have to define the post data. Post data. These are the data that we are going to post into that URL. Here it's our dictionary file. Username. This is the post parameter which has been sent to this login action.php. So we have to keep it as username, and for the username we are using this username. So I am adding this variable username, and the password is password, like this. And in the request library, there are some errors happening when we try this type of repetitive actions, because there are a maximum number of retries that we can do to one single URL by default. In this case, as we are doing a brute force attack, we have to omit that max limit. To do that, we have to start a request session in request library. To do that, we are getting a variable called session. You can call it something you prefer, and that's rq.session. S is uppercase. And in this session, we have to define maximum redirects and maximum retries to none. Session dot max redirects equals none, and max retries also none. Now that's been done. Now we are defining the post request itself. R equals session dot we are going to make a post request, so post, then the post parameters and the URL. First the URL, then the post data, as data equals post data. Then the output is r.text. There is this is not a function, so just this is a property, so just text. There are no brackets like this. Output is that, and we are going to print this output when after we are doing at least 20 requests, which means in 20 requests we are showing the output, and when it's 40 we are showing the output, like that. You can change it for amount you want. I'll choose this 20. If count mod 20 equals 0, then we are going to print the output. To use the colors with output, we need to use the cprint. Then we are going to print this in yellow color. To do that, I define here it as colors, then yellow plus the message that we want to display. Here it is. I'm using these formattings too, so F, then the quotation marks. Inside the quotation marks, checked the count, this number of password that has been checked. passwords plus column dot style dot reset all. This is to reset all the colors that we used here. At the end we have to use this, so it will be in same style. And if the output is something different means in here we found that the correct one is login successful and the wrong one is login failed. And if the output in this output is not login failed, we have to assume that we found the password and print the password. So if this output does not equals to login failed, we assume that we found the password and we print the password in green color. Colors green plus F4 formattings and the password found and the password here. Then we again reset the Palermo styles. Style reset all. And we do not need to continue this loop if we found the password. So I'll break the loop. And at the end of this loop, count should be +1 plus equals 1. And also we have to give a break after one of these requests. We have to give a break, or what will happen is it will try to execute 2 requests at the same time on the port of the server, and it will give errors. That's not good for our brute force attack, so I will give a little break here. Time dot sleep 0.01 seconds, and at the end we print cprint colors pink plus session has been finished plus column dot style dot reset all. And this is our program. Let's run this and see what will happen. We go here, I get a command prompt and py form user. It gives us an error. What it is? In line 9, column has no attribute red. Let's see what the error is. Oh, it's not column dot. It is not column dot red. There is a 4 here too. Column dot 4 dot red. That's how it happens. In all those colors there is 4. This is for 4 colors, foreground colors, and there are background colors too. We are not using background colors here. This has to be there too. Now let's see. Okay, now it's working. Let's see, will it work like before? Yes, now the password has been found, but for some reason it is not showing the pink color. Password is this. Let's see what the error is. Here it is, pink and /033. Here it is /033, not /03. Hopefully this should work, and I'm not going to run this again just to show the pink color. Oh, I can show something else here. Let's get this into the beginning like this, and session has been started. Let's see. Run this again. Yes, now the pink color is also working. At the end, it will also display this session has been finished message with pink. I will interrupt this. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.